Bonsoir. I'm just going to do a reading tonight because when I was trying to organise all my decks, the one that I made fell on the floor, and the song that, what did I do with it? The song that was like the only one facing up that I could actually read, I want to say, that is so annoying. What did I do? Oh, there it is. How did I get it back in there? Take You Dancing by Jason Derulo. And straight away, I was hearing someone wants to have fun with you. Like, not in a sleazy way. Like, they actually want to go out dancing with you and have a good time. So, and all day I've been hearing you should do a reading. So, I've been putting it off and putting it off. But here we go. That's your opening message. Take You Dancing by Jason Derulo. Let's see if I can get some initials. It's been a minute. You know when you can feel a hair? Oh, it's so annoying. All right. Can we get initials for this collective, please? G. Oh, Pisces. Oh, another song, Die For You by The Weeknd. 2023 and 2026. So the last time you might have been with this person is 2023. And we're in 2026 now, so maybe now's the time. I feel like this is the time period, maybe 2023, is when you separated from this person perhaps, and this year's the year that you two reconnect. So we've got two songs now, Take You Dancing, like I said, and then Die For You, The Weeknd. All right, let's see if I can get another initial. No, another song. Never Ending Story. Maybe you really like Never Ending Story. One more initial, please. T. Perfect. So we've got T and G. And the letter O on the bottom. I'll put those on the side so I don't forget. I haven't used these ones in a while, so let's get the cosmic insights to get a bit more info on what this energy is for this collective. Also, Taurus could be significant, move on. So either this is someone that's worried that you've moved on, this person that wants to take you dancing, or you've been trying to move on from this person, especially if it's been, so 2023, what is that, 2 and a bit years ago now? So maybe it's because it's been so long since you separated from this person, you felt like there was no going back, that you needed to move on with your life. Close the door, I just heard you in your mind you've been trying to close the door on this person. And I just heard as well you felt like you had to walk away. But interestingly, even though I heard trying to close the door, see how it's still open? I feel for some reason that's really standing out to me, that even though however long it's been, you've always kept the door open for this person, but maybe of recent you saw something or heard something that made you think, am I wasting my time? Has it really been over this whole time and I've been holding on to hope, leaving the door open for a situation that's never coming back? Open your heart, it'll help you attract more love. Health issues could arise, so you might be going through some, even if it's not physical health, it could be mental health, or there could be a situation that's been playing on your mind. I just heard you need to see the doctor about something that's been and I just heard skin check as well. You might need to get your moles checked, like get the skin cancer check. All right, so they'll be back. So this person that you have, you know, even if you've tried to tell yourself you're moving on, there has always been a part of you that has kept the door slightly open for this person to come back around, and they are coming back around. Expect to hear from them soon. Gold digger. They want your money being used, and that's under open up your heart. It'll help you attract more love. I actually feel like this is going to be a test for you. A test to see if you, one, know your worth, but two, can you trust this person to let them back in? Earth sign. So you could, what was that sign? Was it Pisces? Pisces came out there, but this is earth sign. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But again, for me, that confirms that this has been years. And like you got 2023 to 2026, that's over 2 years now. So I feel like this has taken years to ground, because earth signs in tarot is years. Years to ground, but you could be an earth sign, they could be just heavily in your chart. But I feel it actually feels as though you've been working on grounding yourself a lot more recently, and trying to be more practical in your life and focusing on your pentacles and what you need for stability and safety in your life, and what you do to support yourself. Mercury retrograde, we're in that now. So electronic issues are obvious, communication issues, but this is maybe a time for you to be reviewing everything in your life, not just whoever this person is, but other relationships in your life, your job, where you live. I think you've got a lot that I'm actually even feeling like you're a collective that recently you've had memories start popping up again that either make you upset or angry or over how you've been treated in the past. And you're working through it at the moment. But it actually feels as though you're someone who, maybe in the past when these things would come up for you, you'd feel triggered and spiraled. But you've grown, you've grounded, you've found much more stability in your life. And now when these things come up, you actually recognize them when they come up. So it's not that the feeling doesn't happen anymore, it does, but you recognize it in the moment, and then you're able to soothe yourself. Just noticed moving. So remember I said even reviewing where you live as well. You might have lived with this person. Just trying to think which. Yeah, let's get the journey deck, to see, get a bit of more understanding on who this person is that's coming back around. Who is this connecting energy? Third eye chakra. So this person's quite intuitive themselves. They might meditate, but if they don't, they actually, you would know them to be quite gifted when it comes to their intuition, or they're a very good judge of character. They are able to, you might even have memories of them almost knowing what you're thinking, and they would say what you're thinking to you, and it would shock you. It feels like this person's quite tapped in. Sacral chakra, so that's creativity, that's sensuality, that's the womb, that's the feeling of home. So this person has probably been working through a lot of issues around their stability, and their sense of feeling home and safe. As well, they might actually really be someone that you remember to be very creative, someone that I just heard impulsive, so they might be someone that they're very tapped into their intuition, they're very good at reading people, but they very much kind of, it feels like change direction a lot. So because they've got a very fast thinking mind and they're very creative, it's like they are full of ideas, but they can never sit still on one idea. Does that make sense? It's kind of like, it just feels jumpy, like this person jumps around a lot, and it's because they've got so much creativity within them, but they don't know how to ground it into reality. So it's one thing to have all these ideas, but then to put plans into action to see those follow through on those creative endeavors. A lot of instability. It feels like they've had a lot of instability throughout their life that they might have had to move a lot in their childhood. A lot of instability in the home. And I'm hearing you could have shared a pregnancy with this person. And if you did, that's something that they definitely think about. This is the first time I've ever thought this looking at this card. Yes, there's twin babies in the womb, but I've never looked at this and thought twin flames before, which is very interesting because as I was speaking, especially with the initial energy, I was feeling like you're mirroring each other. So where you're finding grounding in your life and stability in your life, that's what this person's working on right now as well. You're mirroring each other. We'll get other cards to confirm whether or not that's the case, but this is the first time I've ever looked at those twins, and it makes me think that this is a twin flame connection. Passion. This person has a lot of desire for you, and straight away I just heard you're their ideal beauty type. So they're very attracted to you. There's so much chemistry and desire, and even though there's been a long time here, that hasn't gone away. So maybe part of what plays on their mind too, is it just lust, or is it a deeper connection than that? But with this third eye chakra, it really feels as though this person is kind of tapping into now, realizing the depth of their feelings for you. Divine masculine. Two things. One, they could be seeing you living in your masculine right now, especially because if you're grounded, you're stable, at least from what they can see. But I'm actually looking at that as them stepping into their divine masculine energy, someone that is assertive and they know what they want and they take action. I'm seeing the Chariot card. That's all about forward movement and knowing where you want to be and going towards it. They're very driven right now. And I think their main drive is to make movement towards you. Hence, they expect to hear from them soon. Right, third eye chakra. Okay, so yes, they have intuition. I think they are very tapped in, but they're definitely watching you. They would have fake accounts. They might have even interacted with you from fake accounts, which isn't very masculine energy. However, because that's confirming third eye chakra, I really do think that this person intuitively knows that this isn't the best energy to be sitting in. I think they want to come out of this because they know that to be in this energy is not divine masculine. But something tells me that this person has been ignoring their intuition for a very long time. They're very tapped in and they know how they feel, but fear is what causes this energy, as well as envy. But in this case, I think it's more fear that this person has. So they spy, they lurk on your social media, because they don't quite trust themselves yet, it feels like. And that's interesting too, because I said in that beginning energy, whether you can trust them or not, I think part of them is, it's like, again, with the creativity, they have the idea of what they want with you, but do they trust themselves to be able to follow through on that? So then that tells me that there's something to that in the connection in the past where they'd say a lot of things and then not follow through on it. I think their fear is, if they can't, can I trust myself to offer these things again to this person and actually follow through on it this time, instead of just being all words and no action. Oh, hang on. Oh my God. That is mental. It's not the twin flame card, but you got fate written in the stars with union, which is divine love, to confirm the sacral chakra, which I said I was getting this overwhelming feeling like you two are twins. Not in the ancestral way, in the twin flame romantic way, but the twin babies would just make it just, yeah, that's the first time that image has ever come to my mind, seeing those twins and thinking of twin flames, which is funny because I do so many readings about that, but that's important for this collective, because not only did fate come out with that, this whole connection has been written in the stars, but you got union, which is divine love, on top of the fact that this person is wanting to be that divine masculine for you. But I think this is where their intuition is leading them now. I think they've had lots of signs and synchronicities. I think for a long time they were blocking, they were distracting, they were doing anything to avoid the truth of this connection, which is that it's divine love, that you two find each other throughout eternity, and that it's written in the stars to be that way. I think they ran from that for a long time and they weren't trusting their intuition. But for those two to confirm sacral chakra, this person they know who you are to them, and they know that this is an important connection. More than an important connection, this is a divine connection. Passion. Action. 3, 2, 1, action. This person's coming. This is like the Chariot card. They're coming running towards you, and that's to confirm passion. I think this person's very driven to come towards you, and they want to show you how they've developed during this time apart. And also just show you how driven they are to make a life, persist with this, and show you how passionate they are about you. Right, divine masculine. I feel like I should have turned that over then, but balance. They're balancing their masculine and feminine, which is bringing them into their overall masculine energy. And I think part of them running away from their intuition and not trusting their feelings for so long was because there was a massive imbalance. They may have shied away from that sensitive side that was quite tapped in, a side that you would have seen, but not a side that they necessarily show everyone, because they felt like they had to be like the toxic masculinity. They couldn't show that feminine side, or they didn't feel too sure of themselves, and they're learning to balance that out, because being a divine masculine isn't always about being tough. It's actually learning how to be soft and tough together. It's like having using your logical mind and your emotions together is emotional intelligence. like divine masculine, you have feminine and masculine. You balance the two and it becomes divine. All right, one more. Okay, so I think Pisces is very important in this collective. Sun, moon, rising, stellium, whatever. As well as Cancer and Scorpio too, but water is deep emotions. I think this person has run away from their emotions for a long time, and they did everything to try and deny what their intuition told them, which was that you're their divine love. But I think they're actually really understanding their feelings now. But there's still something about that watching that tells me that this person isn't fully there yet. They're not fully in that masculine energy, because masculine energy, they persist, they're driven, they're action orientated, they don't spy. They're like, here I am, I want you, let's do this. They don't lurk. So I think this person is learning how to manage the fear, because yes, water are cups, emotions, but I think as well, especially when you got earth, which is taking years to ground, I think potentially the last few months, because water in tarot is months, the last few months this person's been learning how to balance their deep emotions when it comes to you, and just in how they've handled their life, all their life, up till now, to learn how to balance as well, because this is to confirm divine masculine. I feel like this person spends a lot of time by the water. If they don't, they need to. It's like being by bodies of water is as important as breathing for this person. They need it to balance out. The beach is important here. Yeah, awakening. They're going through and look, you've got crown chakra again underneath that, so they're definitely going through this awakening, and I think they're a little bit still overwhelmed by what they're awakening to right now, which is why they're still in that spying energy. But I actually think that that's the only like negative card in that. So I think that they're well on their way. Again, you got to expect to hear from them soon. So I definitely think that this person is very close to pushing through that fear and not trusting themselves, to really taking that step towards you and being persistent with it. All right, I'm going to get these Divine Truth cards to see how they're viewing, how they feel about you, the connection, how they're viewing you. What are their feelings for you? How are they seeing you? Yeah, see, arrogance. This is how they've been in the past with you. Just thinking that they're the prize. I allowed my pride and ego to get in the way of our connection. I thought I was the catch. And probably that arrogance is what helped them stay away from you for so long, especially if after the separation they immediately went into doing things to distract themselves. Part of that included getting a lot of attention from others. They probably thought that through that process that they would move on from you and get over it. But clearly they know better now. What are they learning, please, from this? Oh, that's heaps. 3D came out, though. I've been programmed to focus on tangible items, what is right in front of me. But I think, see how there's all that money? I think this person is starting to realize the importance of having stability financially without it taking away from that need to be creative and enjoy their life, and that they can have, it's not one or the other, you can have both. I'm also seeing that as them trying to save money right now. untrustworthy, and that's what's been coming up since the black and white. So this was their issue. This is what the divine are trying to get them to work through. I've made mistakes and lied in the past. Will you ever trust me again? So I think that gold digger card, where it was like you're being used, or they want you for your money, you're being used, or whatever that card was. I think that they actually this might be why they watch too. They have a fear, knowing what they did, their arrogance and their deceitful behavior and their black and white thinking, very cut and dry, very harsh, very cold and detached, potentially even mean. They question whether you will even give them the time of day, whether you will actually ever trust them again. But with that divine masculine, knowing the mistakes you've made and knowing that it's gonna take time and action, and be willing to persevere with that time and action to earn your trust back. That is masculine energy. Because they know that the ultimate goal is to have that happy ending with you. So good things take time. I've always tried to be realistic with life, but you opened me up to colour. Okay, strategizing. So putting together an offer you cannot refuse, planning their next move. Again, I feel like that speaks to them watching. I think they hope that by watching you, they can figure out how to approach you, because I think at the moment they do not know how to break the ice, how to reach out to you again, especially if it's been such a long time together. How we found each other. We are meant to be together forever and ever, for eternity. So that's under 3D. So this person knows that they were trying so hard to use 3D distractions, as well as perhaps opinions of others, and all the reasons why this wouldn't work, or that love's not enough. They can't escape it. They know that you two are together for eternity. You will find each other in every lifetime, and they want to be with you in this lifetime. But I think their pride and ego mixed with their deceitful behavior in the past, and maybe since you as well, they're trying to figure out the best way to come through, that you will give them a chance. It's like they don't even know how, because it's like I'm getting this feeling like this person knows they can't just come in and say, hey, like after all this time. So then it's like, what do I say then? Transformation. I'm making conscious choices to transform into my higher self to be with you, transforming into their divine masculine. Agreement. You both made an agreement to focus on yourselves and then come back together as one. So maybe that's even part of when the separation happened. Maybe part of it was you two felt that things moved a bit too quickly. It got hot and heavy very quickly, and you didn't really have a chance to discover what you both wanted or needed out of the relationship. And maybe there was even discussions before the separation happened that you two potentially did need to have like a break to figure things out, but then it really turned into a proper breakup. But there was always that feeling of you were meant to come back together. And as well, that might be part of what they want to say to you, that they didn't want to come back to you before they knew that they were truly ready to be back with you, because they'd done the focus on themselves and done the work. Black and white. Good time. Focused on the present and enjoying each and every moment you make together. So this person, and I straight away looking at them building the Jenga, they want to build a life with you. But there's something as well that speaks to this toppled before, and they don't want it to topple again. They do not want to repeat the past cycles that you two had. They want to fill the gaps, so to speak, and make this solid and work together to build that trust again, and to, it's not all doom and gloom, to actually have fun, to enjoy each other again, to go on adventures, to just be in each other's company again, and to enjoy one another. You make me feel alive. I choose you without a doubt. My heart yearns for you. I want to get how you're perceiving this, especially because of that moving on card that you got. How is the collective perceiving this person and the connection, please? Oh, that's interesting. You're thinking about wanting to rebuild this as well. 37, you could be 37, or you met them when you were 37. But this is what I mean about mirroring. It's so interesting. It's like you're not even in contact right now, yet when you think about this connection, you would be open to rebuilding this, starting over, but better than ever. Moving forward with hard work and communication, being honest with one's feelings and aspirations for the connection. I just heard Bob the Builder. I feel there needs to be a compromise in order to move forward. We both have blamed each other and accused each other of things. I want to heal all of this with you, and I know we can rebuild together. You very much are mirroring. This is quite interesting. Capricorn could be important. You did get Earth sign at the beginning, so maybe you're a Capricorn. I was too focused on my career and my goals. I took you for granted and expected you to wait for me. Unfortunately, you knew you'd be waiting forever. I'm sorry I never put you first. But something's telling me it felt like you feel like, even if it's not career but could have been, this person prioritized everything before you, especially when it came to Pentacles. So, and friendships and family, it always felt like, again, they knew the words to say, but when it actually came to following up or having your back, you always felt like you were the last priority. Number 19. But I do think, especially with that money card, that 3D card, I do think that this person is focused on money. So maybe part of you worries that in the past you were too hyper-focused on financial gain as well. A line again, that's interesting. Maybe you're a Leo. I don't care what it takes, how long it takes, who I upset. I'm going to return to you one way or another. Courage, number 53. Willingness to confront agony, pain, danger, uncertainty, or intimidation. Strength to venture, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. Again, you basically are feeling exactly the same way about each other. Number 53. This is how they see you. Magical Muse, number 22. A great source of artistic inspiration and beyond. The more I look at this, the more I feel like this is still how they feel towards you. Like, they're trying to find the courage to come towards you. They're very focused on their financial stability, and they really want to rebuild this connection with you. And because they're the ones watching you, you're the magical muse. I became inspired by your presence, your energy, and your beauty. Without you, I'm missing my tools to create my next masterpiece. And that's to confirm rebuilding. You are part of the life that they want to build. As well, I just heard that your connection was like perhaps there was a Capricorn in their energy that was an interference for you guys. Because I just keep looking at this work obsessed, stubborn, greedy, prideful, dismissive, rigid, cheap. It's almost as if they had them as well, but had people around them that made them feel like you wanted too much from them, or that you wanting to have success together, it's like people wanted to keep you guys down. They may have said that they wanted you two to be happy, but it's almost like they didn't want to see you succeed. That's what I'm getting from this. It's weird. Because I feel like your person, they are hardworking, they're ambitious, they can be a team player, they can be disciplined and driven. But it's like where they would normally use their intelligence and be quite patient, they were in... I just heard interrogated. That's interesting. Maybe family and friends kind of really drilled something into their head about this connection. Like, it's almost as if like you wanting nice things offended them. It's so weird. I'm getting so many messages in my mind right now. Aries, that could be the interference in Aries. Which would make this, yeah. Pisces. Pisces is very important for this. So if Pisces isn't important in your connection, this isn't your reading. I actually think that this is a combination where you're a mixture of this very dreamy, ethereal type moon loving goddess mixed with someone that wants to have that grounded, stable safety with their partner, someone that wants to have a goal to work towards together. I think this is a mutual feeling, but then at the same time, you're the feminine energy in this dynamic where you like to be away with the fairies, I just heard. I had an idealistic view on what a relationship should look like. You challenged that perspective and made me question my whole value system. I didn't understand what you were trying to teach me, but I do now. So even there would have been a lot of times that you would remember where you were trying to show this person or explain to them, you tried to communicate with them what you needed, and they would have taken it as a personal attack. Listening to respond and defend themselves rather than listening to understand you. And maybe that's something you both battled with. You felt misunderstood from them a lot of times, and they may have felt misunderstood from you a lot of times. I think this is really, I do think it's both of you. You both have this mixture of being, up in the universe and whatever's meant for me will be, and karma and all this stuff, but there's a very grounded, stable part of this connection too. Self-love. Number 81, learning to forgive oneself and others. Learning to forgive yourselves for the mistakes you made in this connection in the past or just in life. But this is what I was saying before about recognizing the triggers. So you seem to be recognizing the triggers in the moment now, and you don't spiral. I think this person's learning that now with that water. They're learning how to manage their deep emotions without overreacting. I've been working on my self-worth, and I'm recognizing the issues that have been holding me back. I'm trying to heal myself by loving myself first. That's good, because that self-love is leading to that courage, that drive to go towards you, and the willingness to confront the issues that you two had in the past. Yeah, and then you've got triggered on the bottom. So there's definitely something happening for you and this person where this connection is concerned that is triggering you both right now during this Mercury retrograde to work through it. Okay, what's the universe's perspective? What is this connection, please? Root chakra, grounding, survival, security, basic human needs. Again, I think in the past, insecurities and fears that you both had, especially because of the depth of the connection, caused the separation, would have caused the fights and the outside opinions getting to you and all these sorts of things that contributed to the ending of this connection in the past. This is what you've both needed to work on, that stability, that feeling of safety, and that feeling of this is what my fundamental needs are from a partner in a relationship, and finding the person that can actually meet those needs, because they're fundamental. You need to have those things in the relationship, just like they would have their fundamental needs that they need to be met to feel really seen and understood in a relationship. So you both needed to figure yourselves out in that realm, and ground that, and also be able to communicate those needs to each other, and then work out, am I able to provide that for this person, and are they able to provide those needs that I have for me? Oscar Wilde, always forgive your enemies, nothing annoys them so much. That, to me, says that this person has created a lot of enemies in their life, which would come from the instability that I was mentioning earlier, especially in the home life, in their community, perhaps their need to get revenge and not have the nicest energy is something they grew up around, that need to retaliate, and be vindictive. But they're learning now that it's kind of like, now you've shown me who you are, I'm going to move on with my life, and I don't have to actually do anything to get you back. That feels important here. Like, this person has a big lesson they had to learn, was that you just walk away from what doesn't serve you. You don't have to prove something to anyone. As well as if family and friends did interfere here, and part of them and part of you has been blaming these interferences for a long time. Yes, they did interfere, and that's not nice, but ultimately you two have to be stronger than the outside opinions. Reading books, I just heard. I don't know how to pronounce that, and I don't want to butcher it. Many people think excitement is happiness, and I think that's what this person has learnt too, because they've had a lot of instability in their life, a lot of chaos, a lot of noise and drama. That's what's comfortable for them, so they would keep recreating that chaos, that drama. But when you were excited, you were not peaceful. true happiness is based on peace. And I think a big part of that is this person may have even said to you that they feel at peace when they're with you, but ultimately their triggers and their fears and insecurities would pull them back into that chaotic, exciting life that brought them nothing but chaos rather than peace. But ultimately what they truly desire in a partner is peace, and for you as well. Sorry, just getting messages. Second house. That's all about values in the home. Your finances, your self-worth. This is what needed to be grounded. I think that this connection needed that grounding because there was a lot of instability financially and in your home life. And that then bled into the romance of the connection, which probably led to fights and not feeling aligned. The material and physical side of the life that we're living needed to be grounded and feel secure. And I think as well a big part of what this person wants to bring to you, they want to feel secure in what they can offer you. But self-worth was big here. I think there was a lot around values that maybe you once held, that they once held, that you thought you didn't align on, but over time through grounding and working on those root chakra triggers, and finding that stability in yourself again and understanding yourself better, them understanding themselves better, you can actually realize that the focus that was so heavily on where your values didn't align, you actually are quite similar. It's all about the perspective, but this is a lot about ground. This connection needs to ground the physical reality. So the financial I'm tripping over my words. Basically, the divine connection's there, but you both need to focus on how you can ground it in the 3D reality that we're living in. How to make this work in the physical reality. Sri Yantra, that looks like the flower of life. A complex symbol used in Hindu Tantra. It represents the union of the divine masculine and the feminine. That is you two coming into union. All the complexities, all the obstacles, all the opinions, the arguments, the instability, the chaos, the drama, everything that you two have been through together and apart has always been to lead you two back together. And I think you're coming into alignment. Your energies are syncing up now. The union of the divine masculine and feminine. This is what's happening now. And to just let go of all the, not because it doesn't need to be addressed and worked through, and wounds from the past do need time and understanding to heal, but to try and let go of the people that really had a big part to play in the demise of this connection. And also forgiving yourselves, because if you don't forgive yourself for your transgressions and they don't forgive themselves for their transgressions, then you will self-sabotage the connection again. Forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. Divine assistance. The divine has a hold of this. Supernatural forces or entities are guiding you two back together. Your ancestors are helping you. Their ancestors, like your person's ancestors, are help. You might even share a spirit team, which I've heard is quite common with twin flames. You actually have the same team, and that team is guiding you back towards each other. But angelic help working towards your goals. And then we've got discernment. Intuition versus logic. This is where I think perhaps I think that this collective, you're quite intuitive, especially with that Pisces. That's very, very intuitive, very in touch with other people's emotions to the point where you don't even realize that you're absorbing others' emotions around you. But I think there has been for a long time an imbalance in the energy of this connection, where one of you was overly logic and the other one was overly intuition, and there was a needing to balance the two so that you can make the right decisions, because this is choosing the higher road, awakening. This whole connection was to awaken you both and to learn how to distinguish between fear, illusions, and the truth. And the truth is that you're a divine pairing. You are meant to be together, but you had to work on your own inner turmoil, basically, and ground yourself, and them ground themselves, and learn yourself truly to the core, and learn how to love yourself to the core so that you can then love each other properly. Throat chakra. Needing to communicate properly. Self-expression, telling the truth. And that's another thing. A true divine masculine, yes, they're action orientated, they're driven, they're persistent. But part of that, when you know what you want and you go after it, you're who I want to make this work, do you want to do this with me? They can be vulnerable. That's where the balancing the feminine comes into it. A masculine can say, I love you, I want you, and I've hurt you, I'm sorry, I want to make this work. Will you do this with me? And that vulnerability is part of being a masculine. That softness is very important for them to be balanced. It's not all about being all soft and one being all tough. You need the balance. But this is communication, self-expression, truth, problems with expressing the truth. And I think that's what they're working through now, struggling to the fear of being vulnerable with you, and really advocating for themselves. Because if they're sure of themselves and they can approach you with that surety, it's going to give you faith that, well, they seem very sure of themselves, so maybe I will give this a chance. I want to get message cards to see what it is they want to say to you. Third eye chakra. Mike Tyson. The Fool. A new beginning. You're about to start a new beginning together. Great way to end that. But this is the universal perspective. So they're saying the whole purpose of this connection was that you both needed to go within and heal the childhood trauma, all the things that created turmoil in your life and made you not feel worthy of love, made you feel insecure and afraid of true divine love and truly loving yourself and knowing what you deserve. That needed to be grounded. Understanding truly to your core what your values are and what you fundamentally need as a basic human being in a relationship, and knowing the person can give that to you and that you can give them what they need. That was what needed to be learned here. So that you've been divinely guided this whole time, you both have, back towards each other to have that union, to start again with the lessons you've now learned and integrated. Be optimistic. This is a new start. with Mars on the bottom, the planet of passion, action, drive. There's a lot of physical attraction here. Just want to get these message cards, see what they want to say, and then we'll get advice for you. What does this person want to say, please? To this collective, what does the connecting energy wish to say to this collective? Finding myself. It was time I went within to find myself again. I need to figure out what I want out of life. I need space. So that's why you will hear from them soon, but it's not like right now. And we're in Mercury retrograde anyway, so... Can you hear that? That was the weirdest sound. It's on. They're very attracted to you. I see you looking good and moving on. I don't care who you're talking to. I'm better. I will compete for you. That's that masculine. I know what I want. I'm going for it. You're who I want. And remember as well, I think they see you as... Everyone has preferences, right, for what they're attracted to. You're their ideal beauty type. The future. I daydream about our future together, going on adventures and growing old together. I want it all. Focused on money, yeah. That's what I was feeling, this person, and that's part of finding themselves. For them to truly feel like they're in that masculine energy, they need to feel like they have purpose, that they are providing and protecting, and that they have... that they're fulfilled in that role, and that they're really, they need to feel that they are giving in that way. So money is a bit important to this person, and not in like a really materialistic way, but again, to have that stable foundation for your relationship, the two of you need to feel like you have that in order. It's not that they need to come in with tons of money and have everything figured out, but they need to at least feel secure in what they can offer you, and feel secure in, like, you know, have that pride in what they do for a living, what they do to make their pentacles. I'm currently focusing on my career and finances. My main priority is financial stability, which is why that makes sense. They're finding themselves. They need some space to do that. They're focusing on finding stability financially. It's simple, really. How do I feel? I want you, us, forever. Will you listen? This is what I was saying. They're worried that because of their arrogance, their pride, their ego, how they left you, the pain they caused you, will you listen? Will you trust them again? There's so many things I want to say to you, but will you hear me all the way out? Will you believe me? Will you believe that they want the future with you? Yeah, my fantasy. Again, physical attraction. You're my fantasy. I have pictures and videos saved of you and use them for inspiration. I want you. Run away. Would you pack a bag and meet me in Hawaii? I just want to get away from the world and be alone with you. All right, let's get this advice. What is your team's advice for you moving forward? Perhaps what should you be working on just for you right now in the meantime? Knight of Wands, Sagittarius. Action, go-getter, funny, lustful, daring, driven, adventurous, quick-moving, flirty. I actually just heard you might be feeling like you really need to get out of here. Like I heard that specifically. You really want to go somewhere. There's something about you focusing on what's driving you in your life right now and taking action on it. like the things you have control over right now, because this person isn't coming in yet. So what you have control on driving forward in your life right now. 7 of Cups. So you've got, I think they're wanting you to work through your indecisiveness right now, because it seems that you're like this person, you have a lot of ideas, but then you get confused because you've got so much going on. You have such an imagination. It's like you want to have all these new projects, but you don't know how to ground them, and that's what's needing to be grounded right now. You have multiple choices, but you're struggling to focus on one. And the 7 of Cups is about focusing on the cup that's actually going to fill you up, not the cups that are taking from you. There's something about you needing to take action towards an idea that you've been sitting on for some time, I think, but you're indecisive on whether to move forward or not, and they're saying yes. Scorpio. Oh no, that's 10 of Swords. I think because it's a very painful card, but I think it's because the pain of this connection in the past, the painful ending of it, caused a lot of internal suffering for you. And I think that's why you perhaps struggle on taking action in your own life towards certain options that you may have, because of the pain that you experienced in this connection. But there's also a lot to be said about 10s in tarot, because 10 is the last. It's like hitting rock bottom. You can only go up from here. So yes, it was very painful, but it's only up from here. You need to focus on the things that light you up. Gemini. Judgment. This is another card of awakening, Capricorn. But I think you're going through an ascension, especially due to this Mercury retrograde, because like I said, I think both of you are being triggered by memories and certain things in your life right now that are resurfacing for you that need to be cleared out. And that's part of your rebirth. And I think as well, perhaps there's a part of you that's judging yourself. They don't want you to judge yourself on the fact that that there's still been a part of you that's been keeping the door open for this person. There's a reason for that. There's a reason you couldn't quite shut the door on them for good, because it was meant to be resurrected eventually. Seven of Wands to confirm the 7 of Cups. 7-7, you might be seeing 7-7-7 a lot, which is actually quite lucky. Leo, I think they want you to know what your boundaries are, to know yourself. And that's what I was saying before about focusing on what your needs are. Understand yourself properly. So that way, if this person says the wrong thing to you, instead of getting defensive and angry and territorial, you can protect yourself. You can have boundaries and defend yourself, but you don't have to attack. And there's a fear here of you being under illusions when this person comes forward because of the pain they caused you. The betrayal here. How it really put you into some of the darkest hours of your life, and how the illusion and the fears that brought that on in the first place are still with you partly. So there's going to be defensiveness still. There's going to be anger still. And again, that's also why the masculine coming in has to be secure in knowing that there might be a bit of pushback from you, but persevering through that regardless. I think your confusion around this situation is going to make you want to protect yourself and shut down. But you just need to set the right boundaries, what you're comfortable with, and set those boundaries. And the right person will respect those boundaries. Ten of Swords. Four of Pentacles. Capricorn again. This is about past regret and that scarcity mindset and fear and lack. I think they're saying here that you don't let your fear get the best of you. If you've done the work like I feel like this collective has done, I think this is how you feel you would react to them. But you've actually come a lot further than you realize. You're a lot more secure in yourself than you realize. And this is even also about saving money. But because of the Ten of Swords, it feels more like you've been holding on to the pain of this ending with this person for a very long time and judging yourself over the fact that because they caused you so much pain and so much upheaval in your life, you've been judging yourself for still having hope for this connection. But I think you've grown a lot. I think you know your worth a lot more than you may realize. And it's interesting because I just remembered at the beginning I said something about you're going to be tested. I think when this person comes in, I don't think they're going to try and trick you. But I think it's not even going to be a test. You're suddenly going to realize when they approach you that you have grown a lot more than you realize, but you haven't had that chance to see that grown version of you yet because you haven't been confronted to see that new version of you. Does that make sense? Yeah, Six of Wands, Leo again. You're going to have victory in this situation, so don't fret. A lot of this feels like fretting to me, like anxiousness, because you're afraid of the past with this person. And believe me, they're going to be afraid of the past as well, but that's the persevering to rebuild. And that it's worth it because you're divinely paired. This is good news. This is progress. I think you are going to have victory over this reconnection with this person. Ten of Cups to confirm victory. Pisces again. This is marriage stability. You are literally, if you can work through the fear, the anxiety, the illusions that keep you in fear, this is your marriage, this is your person, this is your victory over marriage, victory, Six of Wands over Ten of Cups. That's no better outcome. Marriage, stability, security, happy family, fairy tale ending, home, a lasting relationship. With the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom, it's going to feel like a miracle when this comes in. Ten of Pentacles under that. You've been manifesting this, and I don't think that this is just because Pentacles is about money, right? Earthly things. This isn't just about romantic abundance, but I think the two of you, when you reunite, you're actually going to create an abundant life in your physical reality as a team. Whether that's you have a business together or you just, once you're in union again, the things that are meant for you and your purpose and their purpose start to fall into place. So I don't think you have anything to worry about here other than your own pain from what happened in the past with this person.